Hello and welcome to another episode of the In Between podcast. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. Hello and welcome to another episode of the In Between podcast with your host as always, Kyle McLemore. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, I know it's been a minute or two. It's been maybe 1, 2, 3 minutes or so since the last pod, but we back. We back in business, and it's good to be back. As a matter of fact, let's keep playing some music. You know what's extra funny about that is that all that's added in post. I'm out here rocking to silence. And speaking of silence, how about we start off the pod with a little ASMR? Oh yeah. That was for the listeners and also for our sponsor, Liquid Death. Murder your thirst. But thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, it's been a minute, I know. The hair keeps growing and it don't have no sign of showing that it's stopping. Keep growing. Keep on going. Am I going to go probably just to the shoulders and then give it a stop? But we'll see. Oh yeah, rambling about nothing. Let's try to keep it on track here, people. What have we been up to since the last pod? Probably a lot. But certain highlights do come to mind, like the removal of 1, 2, 3, 4 wisdom teeth. And sure, I could use that as an excuse as to why I haven't done it, because literally could not talk for several days after. Cheek swollen out to here. Dude, I couldn't even open my mouth wide enough to brush my tongue, dude. I was on a straight liquid diet for like 3 weeks. And let me tell you something, soup gets boring. Did you know that soup gets real old after like the 4th day of just soup? No matter, even if it's a variety of soup, dude, it's just like, after a while, soup ain't cutting it. But got the wisdom teeth taken out, 1, 2, 3, 4. Did it 2 at a time, right side, took a week off, left side. And in hindsight, boy oh boy was the right side the more chill side. Dude, left side went bananas, dude. Okay, so right side, boom, 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 no problem. Other than the fact that I almost had a werewolf transformation, like, before the procedure even started, dude, before a single drop of blood was spilled, I was full on going into my werewolf transition. And if you don't know, that's what I call it when I'm going to pass out from the sight of blood, is that I start turning into a werewolf, dude. It's the exact same symptoms up until the moment of like extreme hair and dog features. Everything else exactly the same as a werewolf transformation, dude. Like, let me see, how did it happen? I remember I'm sitting in the chair, pokey poke with some numbing stuff, so it's just like a syringe, poke. Haven't even started, dude. Okay, they're just like poke. There, we gave you some injection of numbing whatever. Just go ahead and chill for a minute while we let it do its numbing thing. See ya. I got other people to check on. To which I'm like, fine, dude, I will totally chill. I'm not really in a hurry to have you just go ham on my mouth, so I'm chilling. The numbing sensation is taking effect, and I just start to imagine him slicing into my mouth. I just start to imagine blood, dude. I just start to imagine blood. And it's only ever happened one time. Like, usually I need the visual stimulation, dude. I need to see the blood for me to have the passing out thing going on. It's only happened one time before where there was no actual blood, dude. I was watching, what was that show called? Clive Owen. He's like an old-timey doctor from like the 1800s or something. It's called something like it's like a short name, the Doc or the Old Doc or something. I don't know. It's just like basically a medical show about like the 1700s, the 1600s, old school medical stuff. I just remember there's a scene where they're just like blood is pouring out of this lady. And I just remember, I think it was because I was eating too at the same time. And I was like, ugh, I need to go to the bathroom. Passed out in the bathroom, dude, because of just the visual stimulation of all this blood. It's the only time that's ever happened without physical manifestation, like actual blood in the area. So in the dentist chair, poke, and I'm just imagining him with a chainsaw fucking down, ring, ding, 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 into my mouth, dude. And so, that old creepy feeling, dude, that old feeling starts creeping up my back, and like, you just, it's so hard to describe, dude. The vision just like, ooh, and like as it's going on, you're like fighting for your life to keep your vision, and then it's like your body starts to, dude, it feels like my body weighs a bajillion pounds, dude. The greatest effort to just like even lift my arm or like anything. I am fighting for my life to not pass out. And as this is happening, dude, I am pouring sweat, dude. I am on fire. And also, as it's happening, I'm like, dude, I'm sitting in the chair just like, fighting for my life to not pass out. I'm just like, and it's also incredibly hard to do anything. Keep your eyes open. It's hard to speak. It's hard to move around. It's hard to do anything other than just like pass out. And so I'm sitting there like, can somebody help me, please? Still trying to be like, not like rude. Like, if you're not, if you're not, too busy, could you maybe like help me out? I think I'm dying. But of course, if you're not too busy, if you have other stuff, I totally get it. Come back to me later. I'm dying. Please, God, somebody help me. If you're not too busy, of course. That was me sitting in the chair. It took like I wish I had been the guy next to me to just be sitting there like waiting for the dentist, and you just hear like in the other room like, oh God, somebody help me. Just sitting there like, what the fuck are they doing over there? And so it took a minute, like, dude, I'm sitting there like, can somebody like fighting for my life, and then finally the nurse is like, hey, oh my. She's like, hey, how are we feeling? Because the other thing, like, I've never seen myself, but evidently I get pale, dude. I get ghost white, and I'm just pouring sweat. And so she comes in like, hey, how are you feeling? And I'm just like, yeah, I think I'm about to pass out. And so they like give me some water. They do me like an ice pack to cool me down, and then it's just like, all right, so now it's starting to taper off a little bit, and now I'm getting freezing, dude, because basically somebody poured a bucket of water on me. That's how much I'm sweating, dude. That's how much, and just poured a bucket of water. So now I'm like, oh God, it's so cold. And then, dude, you talk about freaking out a staff of employees, dude. They're all just like, are you sure you can handle this, dude? Are you sure you're going to be okay? And it was like a solid like 30 minutes. I'd be like, yes, dude. It's like the thought of blood. I'm sorry. I'm just going to sit here with my eyes closed the whole time. Fast forward. They do the right side. Yes, it hurt afterwards. You know what the trippy part is the sensation of like feeling him like pull on my head, dude. Like it's just like, geez. But in hindsight, not that bad over here. And then we go over there 2 weeks later for the left side, and dude, oh boy, did they get medieval. First of all, the whole time, before we even started, he's like, oh boy, that number whatever, 16, or I don't know. That number 16, I don't know if we're going to get it. I don't know, it's at a tough spot. I don't know about that one. And he just keeps saying it over and over. And so in my mind, the whole time, I'm like, okay, well then don't do it. Well then, hey man, just leave it in there, dude. Like if you're that like not confident, then maybe just leave it. And he got it, dude, but it was not easy. It kept fucking slipping. He like, there was a point where like I don't know, he was pulling and like lost his grip because he like pulled and then stabbed the other part of my mouth. So much so that I'm like, oh. He's like, oh, did I get you? I'm like, yeah, dude. Yeah. You stabbed like almost through my cheek, bro. Oh my God. And then the hygienist lady isn't doing her one job, which is to suck up my saliva and blood. Not doing it. So slowly, I'm just like filling up with saliva in my mouth and I can't swallow. And it's just like building and building and building. I'm basically waterboarding myself with my own saliva because she's not like sucking any of it out. And then, like, you know, like, as it keeps filling up, you ever do that thing where it's like you, like, I don't know, dry swallow? It's like you do the sensation of swallowing without actually swallowing because it's like you want to swallow the mouthful of saliva, but you can't. So then finally, after so many times of me, like, fake swallowing, the dentist is like, hey, can we get a bite guard in here to, like, stop him from, like, doing that muscle thing? And in my mind, I'm like, fine, bite guard's fine. I'll bite the hell out of that thing. I don't care. Bite guard it up. That's totally fine. But she goes, okay, here's your bite guard, and jams it right in the hole where, like, they just took out my wisdom teeth the week before. She's like, all right, here's your bite guard. It just right into the open wound in my mouth. And, dude, it was like lightning hit my body, dude. I'm in the chair and just like, oh, what are you doing? She's like, oh, and he's like, yeah, like, hey, whoa, we don't want to beat him up too much. We just say, be careful. I'm like, yeah, lady, do you not see the hole in my mouth that you're just jamming this piece of rubber into? Like, the hell? And then, dude, I go back to get, like, the sutures taken out on the left side, which was gnarly. Same hygienist who, like, doesn't want to suck any of the saliva, except this time she's like, oh, I'm on it. Jams the sucker again, right into my open left side wound. And I'm just like, again, oh, just like, dude, what are you doing? You don't need to jam it into my body to suck out my blood, dude. Like, what are you doing? And she, oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry. It's like, yeah, dude, you should be. You're just jamming all these tools and things into my open wounds, dude. But I can finally open my mouth all the way, which is like a first for sure. But geez, what a trip to the dentist it was indeed. And then what else do we got going on? Did a recent flight, and I had something that I never got to experience. I've never been singled out for the sideline pat down before. I never had it go off in the machine, the one, the X-ray, blasting you with just gamma radiation. Never had a problem with that, and I think I always wear generally the same thing. I think I'm generally just wearing, like, jeans and, like, I don't know, have a button fly, but whatever the problem was this time, I walked through and they're like, boop, 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 boop. Sorry, sir. Major sensors going off in your fucking ass. I'm just like, okay. Is it the button fly? Is it my huge dome? And they're like, I don't know, but we gotta sideline you and pat you down. It was the first time I had that happen. He's like, all right, so just so you know, I'm getting up in there. Just so you know, I'm getting up in that. I'm just like, oh. No, but he was like, hey, just so you know, it's gonna be like lots of groping and touching, just so you know. Which you want, right? Like, if I was smuggling something in between my sack, I would want somebody to feel around and be able to find it, right? Doesn't make it any less weird. And so he's like, all right, you want to do it here? You want to go to the back room? And I was like, no. You do it here in front of everyone. I want them to watch. That's the only way I get off is if I've got like 30 people in a terminal looking at me. It's the only thing that gets me off these days. And, I didn't even mention this was last month. This was deep into No Shave November. It said we ain't talking about shaving, if you know what I mean. No November, if you know what I mean. We're deep into No November, and this dude is feeling all up and down my thighs, brushing up on my bum, dude. I'm just like, whoa, it's been a long month, maybe you should, hey, he's like, oh, calm down, sir, calm down. We got a bogey over here. No, I'm kidding, of course, but he was not shy, I mean, which is, again, you don't want him to be, but it was a very unique situation. Didn't have nothing on me, so got to fly on to my destination, which was Texas, Houston, Texas to be exact. And I went to the Houston Space Center, which, my God, do I recommend, dude. My goodness, is that a fun time. Not only is it a fun time, it is a mind-blowing experience, dude. I mean, okay, well, first of all, let's get this out of the way. Did you guys know that I'm actually mentally handicapped? Did you guys know that I'm mentally disabled, dude? Like, that's how dumb I feel. Do you ever have a moment where something is like, it finally clicks and you're just like, oh man, the last 30 years I've been a moron, dude. The last like 35 years of my life, I've been needing a handicap placard, dude. I should have been parking in the front this whole time, dude. What am I doing? This whole time. I should have had a wheelchair. I need a special person walking with me this whole time, dude, because apparently I'm dumb as hell. Because we go to Houston, dude. Houston Space Center, dude. And it's like halfway through the day, dude. I didn't even realize we're in the Space Center for so long before it finally like hit me, dude. Before the thunderbolt finally and my brain activated. We're literally on the tram and they're like, all right, so our next stop is the Houston Command Center where they blah, blah, blah. And it's like the sun finally came out, dude. It's like the clouds parted. I'm like, oh, that's why they say Houston, blah, blah, blah. Houston, we have a problem. What an idiot that I've never, like, I don't know, in my mind, it's not, they were saying Houston because they're in Houston. In my mind, it was like, just code, like military code, like Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Houston. Dude, I don't know, dude. I don't even know where I thought they were talking to. I just assumed everything was going down in Florida. They do so many launches from Florida that I just thought it was in Florida. But it's like, you know what? Suddenly it's like, oh, why does it have to be in Florida? They're in space. It could be anywhere on Earth, dude. The signal's not going to matter if it's in Florida or Houston, dude. It could be on Antarctica. You'll probably get a good signal in space. But I just remember, just on that tram, I'm just being like, oh my God. I don't think I should be on this tram, you guys. I don't think I should be allowed in this science center with how stupid I am, dude. Houston, we have a problem. There's a moron on the tour. Now, having said all that, my God, is that place impressive, dude. Just the sheer, when you see the actual, like, rocket and booster and just, like, how long it is, dude, and just, like, booster on top of booster on top of booster, like, a mile of just booster on top of booster, all leading up to just, like, this tiny little compartment where, like, one dude can just strap in and, like, have a quarter mile of just fuel behind him, like, here we go. So insane to think about, dude. It's also insane to think about just being in space, dude, with like just this much that's separating you from just the vacuum of space, dude. Oh my God. And then you want to talk about having a huge, like existential, like I just need to snap. I do this every once in a while, but it was like the worst I've ever had it happen. Do you ever... The only way I can describe it, what is that word? Megalophobia or mega? It's like that phobia of like when you look at the ocean and you're just like, oh my God. that feeling, dude, when you jump, like I'm talking deep in the ocean, like when you jump in that water and it's just blue abyss around you, dude, it is a horrifying feeling, dude. My God, it's like thalassophobia or something. I can't remember, but dude, the only way I can describe it is that feeling, but like pointed upwards, dude. Like I was on my lunch at work. I don't even remember how I got onto that page. I was on lunch, probably because I was hitting my Benjamin a little bit. But my God, dude, I had such a like, just like suddenly sitting there thinking about how we're just on this rock, blasting through space with all this other space stuff around us, dude. Just this endless open. And I just start thinking about like the I just started thinking about, like, I don't know, a meteor, like what it would look like, a meteor coming into Earth, and like, would anybody even tell us, dude? If there was a giant meteor headed straight towards us, do you even think anybody would tell us, dude? Wouldn't it be the more humane option to just be like, you know what? Don't tell them. Just let it hit us. They won't know until like an hour before, so like, you can have like 3 weeks of anarchy or like 1 hour of like everyone freaking out. Let's just save it. Let's just let them see it when it gets here, dude. There's no reason to freak people out too early. I always think about that, dude. Like, if there's some impending doom, there is no way we're going to know until it's like there. And then you're just like, well, it's over. That was fun. Like, my God, I just remember sitting in my car and then having to like really like physically push it out, dude. Physically just be like, no, stop. Get the thoughts out of my head. Because if I sit here thinking about how we're just spiraling through the abyss of space with just meteors and debris all over the place, dude, and how we're just sitting here paying electric bills, dude. We're sitting here like paying Netflix bills, worrying about how I'm gonna afford this trip for next week or whatever, all while like the whole time a huge meteor is just like coming straight at us, dude. Like, it was such a crazy thalassophobia, like that. That's the only way I can describe it, dude, is that horrible, sick feeling when you're just looking at a huge, empty abyss of water. You know what I mean? Like that. You ever see those creepy videos? You were like, what if there was like this giant, humongous sea monster, and like you just see like the eye move under like the water or whatever? Like that horrible, creepy feeling, but like looking up at the sky, dude. It was horrifying. It was like the worst lunch break of my life. Had to physically like push that stuff like out of my brain just so I could continue through my day without like thinking of the horrible impending doom. My goodness, that's been like lingering on my mind for a while, so I had to get it out of me. I should have started the timer, so it's hard to tell, but I think we're right on the usual time of like when I start cutting it out. Is there anything else I wanted to, any big getting groped at the airport, wisdom teeth? You know, one thing that was interesting about Texas, every time I go to Texas, every time I'm even near Texas, dude, I get nervous, dude. Driving through Texas, I've driven from Cali all the way to Oklahoma. Dude, I've driven from Cali all the way to Kansas City, which is further than Oklahoma. And I don't get nervous the whole time. And I'm usually smoking the whole time. No nerves at all until, dude, as soon as that thing says, welcome to Texas, it's like, oh boy. Something about having marijuana in Texas just gives me the willies. So when I was there, obviously did not have any, because it's highly illegal. But you know what they do have in Texas? Synthetic marijuana, which I was fascinated with, dude. I was like, it's just sold like it is here, like the same way weed is. You just go to the store and buy it, which is, I don't know, you can buy this. If you have the weird synthetic, just have the normal thing, you know what I mean? Like, so the whole time I'm like, synthetic, how good can it be? Also fascinated too, I'm looking at the thing, it's like THC, 0.03%, so it's like, okay, no THC. THGC, like 99%. I'm like, what the fuck is THGC? Like, all right, whatever. I go into it with such a attitude, dude. Such a attitude. I'm just like, all right, do you even know? Do you even know that I'm from California, dude? You trying to bring this synthetic marijuana to Mr. California here? How dare you? That was my attitude going in. And about halfway through that joint, I was like, oh my God, I am severely high right now. I am potentially too high right now, dude. I'm potentially higher than I've been in a while. Like, what is this synthetic thing, dude? So that was I'm very curious about what's in it. How do they get it to be so accurate to like an actual marijuana high? And then also, why not just have it? I mean, the synthetic stuff was such a banger. why not just have the regular thing? You know what I mean? There has to be something in that synthetic that can't possibly be more healthy than just regular plants, right? Like, but, that's just me. It was an interesting experience for sure. Do not knock that synthetic at all, dude. It's completely on the level, dude. I was very impressed. I was blown away. But I think that's good enough, right? I think we talked about some good stuff, got some good energy. I feel like it's not bad for being gone so long. But thank you, loyal listener, loyal watcher, loyal fan. Thank you for being here with us the whole time. And if you stuck around till the end, look at you, man. You're awesome. You're my favorite kind of person. And if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button, as it's much appreciated. And I am your host, as always, Kyle McLemore. We'll see you next time on the pod.